Megaprojects are very intensive undertakings that take years to plan and even more to build, even though 2020 and 2021 have been some very difficult years. Engineers and construction companies have continued to push forward, taking on some of the most impressive projects seen in a long time. Now, these various projects are nearing completion. If all goes according to plan, they are slated to be finished sometime in the year 2022. From huge stadiums to enormous dams, here are the 5 massive megaprojects that are supposed to be completed in 2022. Dubai Creek Tower. Dubai has always been known as a city that spares no expense when it comes to extravagant things. For the time being, the world's tallest skyscraper, at least until the completion of construction work on the Dubai Creek Tower, Burj Khalifa, is the symbol of #1 tourist destination in the Arab Emirates' largest city. Interestingly, the construction of the world's second tallest skyscraper. Let's start with the Dubai Creek Tower's height. At the groundbreaking ceremony, Santiago Calatrava's son, Michael Calatrava, revealed to the press that the team is unsure of how much taller the Dubai Creek Tower will be in comparison to the Burj Khalifa. However, later sources confirmed that the Dubai Creek Tower, compared to Burj Khalifa, will be 100 meters taller. The skyscraper is expected to be completed at an estimated cost of $1 billion. Once it's completed, it will join the list of the tallest skyscrapers in the UAE. Design is an ode to Islamic architecture. The tower's design has been inspired by a traditional minaret, the tower-like structure that you can see in mosques. A minaret is traditionally used for the Muslim call to prayer, and as such, it's an important symbol in Islamic culture. However, the tower's design was also inspired by the lily flower, so the skyscraper will be linked to the ground with steel cables, resembling the delicate ribbing of the lily leaves. It's groundbreaking even at the foundation level. The future beacon of Dubai architecture made history even at the foundation level. A record-breaking number of 140 barrette piles were used to make the foundation of Dubai Creek Tower. Furthermore, the test load that was performed on the base weighed 36,000 tons, the maximum weight carried out on a single pile to date. And that's just the beginning. It has dynamic illumination and movement lighting. A statement from Emaar said that the Dubai Creek Tower will feature dynamic illumination and movement lighting to make it a breathtaking landmark, both day and night. The engineering company Oricon is also working on advanced technology to enable the tower's summit to emit a beacon of light from its peak. The idea behind this is to evoke the features of a flower bud that appears to hover above the structure. Given the ongoing circumstances, the Dubai Creek Tower's progress has slowed down. The completion date of the Dubai Creek Tower building is now expected to be in the year 2022. The Dubai Creek Tower by Emaar is located at the Dubai Creek Harm mixed-use development by Emaar that is set to become the ultimate residential, commercial, retail and entertainment destination of the city. Guangzhou Evergrande Football Stadium, China. The vision of Guangzhou has changed and a significantly different plan is being implemented. The new shape of the stadium will only subtly evoke a lotus crown. The swanky facility will be home to Chinese real estate company Evergrande Group's Chinese Super League CSL club, Guangzhou Evergrande. It was probably the year's most significant stadium plan announcement made in April this year, amid the coronavirus pandemic, when global football was brought to a grinding halt. The lotus shape of the stadium invited a lot of attention. However, as per a decision taken in early July, the stadium will no longer be lotus-shaped. A new concept is being implemented, again to be created by global practice Gensler. US-based Gensler was picked up among 8 invited architectural teams, which included the likes of AFL Architects, GMV Architect 10, HPP Architect 10, and Populous, among others. Gensler eventually created 3 visions for the stadium. On May 28th, the Planning and the Natural Resources Bureau of Guangzhou City invited 6 Chinese experts in architecture and urbanism for consultation, along with members of other municipal bureaus. Based on their input, the 3rd version was selected and then optimized to meet suggestions, FIFA requirements, and economic efficiency. On July 3rd, the design was unanimously approved by the Guangzhou City Planning Committee and Regional Planning and Urban Design Professional Committee. The winning design is not as colorful as the lotus one and has a slight resemblance to a lotus crown in keeping with Guangzhou's reputation as the city of flowers. New meanings were created along the way. More angular, The new form can also be read as a diamond, complementing the Panyu district's meaning in the global jewelry industry. The design may have changed, but the truly impressive scale of the project has not, which will see the stadium's peak at 86 meters. Roughly, that's the height of 30 to 35 residential floors. Of course, the stadium does not require 35 levels. It will still be eye-catching, with 7 floors above ground and 2 underground ones. Up to 4,850 cars and 2,500 bicycles can be parked beneath and directly around the arena. The Mammoth project is likely to be delivered in December 2022, and it will be a watershed moment for Guangzhou, with the stadium becoming one of Guangzhou's main landmarks. One issue still to be ironed out is how to bring 100,000 people to a game and back. The parking places will mostly be reserved for players, staff, VIP guests, and representatives from media outlets. It's expected to be much more than just a football stadium. Once it is completed, there will be offices and a shopping mall, allowing it to be more than just a sports destination. It will be a place of business and leisure. California High-Speed Rail, one of the largest, most ambitious public transportation programs in US history. The California High-Speed Rail system will allow passengers to travel from Los Angeles and Anaheim to San Francisco at speeds of up to 220 miles per hour, and eventually will extend to Sacramento and San Diego, totaling 800 miles with up to 24 stations, making the trip from San Francisco to Los Angeles under 3 hours, compared to upwards of 6 to 8 hours by automobile. The system will connect California's mega regions, contribute to economic development and opportunity, support the state's climate change policies and initiatives, and preserve agricultural and protected lands. Using federal and state funds, including state cap and trade auction proceeds, the California High-Speed Rail Authority has 119 miles of high-speed rail civil infrastructure under construction. This segment will serve as the nation's first high-speed rail test track. The authority is also working with state and regional partners on implementing the California State Rail Plan, which presents a vision for a modern, integrated statewide passenger rail system connecting all urban, suburban, and rural communities with frequent, reliable service. California High-Speed Rail is the backbone of the California State Rail Plan and is central to the state's mobility and climate policies. WSP has been working with the state staff to help shape high-speed rail in California from the earliest feasibility studies in the 1990s to planning for future operations. Most recently, as the authority's rail delivery partner RDP for the 500-mile Phase 1 system linking the Bay Area with the Los Angeles Basin, which includes planning and preliminary design to support project delivery. The California High-Speed Rail Project is the largest transportation infrastructure project, both in terms of capital investment and geographic area, to earn an Envision Award for sustainable infrastructure to date. The magnitude of the project presents atypical challenges compared to other complex infrastructure projects, including funding and financing, environmental clearances, right-of-way acquisition along deep tunnels through seismic areas. Implementation of high-speed rail in California will connect the state with a modern, integrated statewide rail system, establish vital new economic links between California's economic megaregions, create employment and educational opportunities for Californians, improve air quality and support the state's climate change initiatives, preserve agricultural land, protect the environment and promote sustainable communities, create an opportunity to use the dedicated high-speed rail corridor to achieve broader public benefits. Cordoba Corporation has provided civil engineering expertise in the preparation of technical memoranda and the formal design criteria manual that provides regional engineer services for the Bakersfield to San Diego segments. The regional engineer is responsible for the technical aspects of the design. Cordoba Corporation has developed numerous design options that the authority has decided to include in the design process. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam Project, Ethiopia. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Project, GERD, formerly known as the Millennium Dam, is under construction in the Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia on the Blue Nile River, which is located about 40 kilometers east of Sudan. The project is owned by Ethiopian Electric Power Corporation. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project is expected to be completed by July 2017. The people and the government of Ethiopia are funding the project, which will not only serve Ethiopia, but Sudan and Egypt as well. The latter two countries depend on the Nile River for their water, although 85% of the river flows in Ethiopia. The dam's construction is expected to create up to 12,000 jobs. Approximately 20,000 people will be resettled during the reservoir, and the dam will offer major benefits to Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. Egypt has for a long time held the major ownership of the water from the Nile River and prevented Ethiopia from constructing a dam. Egypt depends on the Nile for 90% of its water needs. The Tripartite Committee was formed in January 2012 to promote understanding and look into the benefits and impacts the project would have on the three countries. Let's talk about the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam power and water capabilities. Aimed primarily at generating power with an expected capacity of 6,000 megawatts, the main and saddle dams will also create reservoirs with an impounding capacity of 74 billion cubic meters. The dam will be capable of handling a flood of 19,370 cubic meters per second, will reduce alluvium in Sudan by 100 million cubic meters, and also facilitate irrigation of around 500,000 hectares of new agricultural lands. It will also reduce approximately 40 kilometers of flooding in Sudan upon its completion. The regulated flow of water from the Renaissance Dam will improve agriculture, and the impact of the evaporation of water from the dam will be minimal compared to other dams in Ethiopia, which will help in water conservation. Water evaporation from Aswan High Dam, as well as other dams in Ethiopia, equates to around 19 billion cubic meters. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam will reduce the capacity of the Aswan High Dam, therefore saving about 6 billion cubic meters of water. The dam will also serve as a bridge across the Blue Nile, which features a small number of bridges and few pedestrian bridges. There is the Renaissance Dam across the Blue Nile. The Grand Renaissance Dam will be a roller compacted concrete RCC gravity type, comprising stations, 3 spillways, and a saddle dam. The main dam will be 145 meters high and 1780 meters long. The reservoir, with a surface area of 1680 square meters at full supply level (FSL), will be formed in the middle section of the dam between the left and the right banks. Gated spillways fitted with 6 radial gates will be located on the left side of the main dam. Each gate will have a capacity to discharge 2,450 cubic meters per second of water at probable maximum flood occurrence. The saddle dam supporting the main dam will be 4,800 meters long and 45 meters high. It will have an emergency side spillway to discharge water directly into the Rosias Reservoir. The 2 outdoor power stations, with installed capacities of 3,750 megawatts and 2,250 megawatts, will be located on either bank of the river. The powerhouses include 16 generating units of 375 megawatts each. A 500 kV switchyard will also be constructed to transmit power from the stations to the grid. Approximately half of the construction work was completed by December 2014. The 700 megawatt first stage of the dam is scheduled to be operational by 2015. Let's talk about the contractors involved with the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project. Alstom signed a €250 million contract with Metals and Engineering Corporation (METEC) to supply turbines, generators, and all electromechanical equipment for the hydropower plant of the Grand Renaissance Dam. Crossrail, Elizabeth Line, London. Crossrail Limited is delivering the Elizabeth Line, a new fast, high-frequency, high-capacity railway. The route of the new railway stretches from Reading, Maidenhead, and Heathrow in the west through central London to Shenfield and Abbeywood in the east. The Elizabeth Line will connect the outer suburbs to the heart of the city and West End, as well as provide a quick route between central London and Heathrow Airport. The construction and fit-out of 10 brand new stations and 42 kilometers of new rail tunnels are drawing to a close. The new railway will then move into its testing and commissioning phase. Europe's biggest construction project has created over 1,000 apprenticeships with 10,000 people employed at the peak of construction. The Elizabeth Line will provide a 10% increase in central London's rail capacity, relieving congestion on many existing rail and tube lines. It will bring 1.5 million more people across London within a 45-minute commute of the key business districts of the West End, City and Docklands. As well as boosting capacity and improving connections, the Elizabeth Line will cut journey times for the estimated 200 million people who use it each year. For example, the journey from Heathrow to West End will take about 30 minutes compared to about 50 minutes today. It's also providing an economic legacy. The Elizabeth Line will support regeneration across the capital by bringing people closer to jobs, providing new transport links, and through significant new developments over stations. The new railway will add an estimated £42 billion to the UK economy. London businesses are contributing to the cost of the Crossrail project through a variety of mechanisms. The most notable of these is a business rate supplement (BRS) of 2 pence in a pound, which is set to raise £4.1 billion. Those areas of London set to benefit most from the new rail link are paying a greater share, but thousands of London's smaller businesses are exempt from the business levy. In addition, the mayor is expecting to raise £0.6 billion from developer contributions and the community infrastructure levy. Even with the upgrade of the tube and the construction of the Elizabeth line, London needs more transport infrastructure to keep pace with and support the capital's economic growth. Thanks for staying till the end of this video. Share your thoughts or comments in the box below. See you next time. Next time.